Here we are back on the Chicago Rail Project. Thanks for tuning in. This is where I left off last week. I continued the, I think it's NS, or maybe, I honestly have no idea if this is a CSX or NS line. That's one of the things I want to figure out. I know this is an out of service UP yard here, and the fourth track from the left is the line that Metro uses, but I've extended this down to where the NS line comes over from Ashland Avenue Yard here, and it goes over to the Metro Rock Island line, which is right here. And this is as far as I've gotten on the Rock Island line. Where I ended up, or where I had stopped previously, is somewhere up ahead here. I really don't like this. It doesn't load the track as fast as it should. It loads more of it when I'm moving, which I don't understand why. Here we go. And I think at some point while I'm recording this, I forget it and show you where the track is supposed to be, but it isn't. Or it isn't showing up anyways. What did I want to talk about? I snowed in for a couple days this past week, so I got quite a bit of work done that you'll see here in a moment. And I have lofty goals for the next 2 weeks that I'll discuss later on. What else? Around mid-February, I'm probably going to have some time off work as I'm having a procedure done on my foot to correct some foot issues. I'll have to be off my feet for a while, so I'll probably have plenty of time to work on this stuff. Okay, now we're heading down to where I left off on the CSX line. The CSX line on the west side of Ashland Avenue Yard. That should be coming in view any moment now. Yes, here it is. CSX and NS line crossing here. NS goes to the left into Ashland Avenue Yard, and CSX continues on straight. And there was a break while I waited for it to load. I've gotten this all the way down, or I haven't gotten too far down here. I've started work from this point south, but haven't replaced any track yet. I'm kind of going back along what I did this previous week. I'm not exactly sure who owns this portion. It's either CSX or it's more than likely the BNSF, but it could be the Norfolk Southern too. There's a couple of industries along here, and the track with a double crossover there is a CTA, which I haven't even touched yet. We're coming up to the point just south of Corwith Yard. I thought I missed something there, but I did. Turns out I didn't. And I went about as one baseboard more south. Here you'll be able to see all the work that went into Corwith yard. The track configuration on this end didn't change a whole lot. Some tracks changed. Most of the track changes were around the engine facility here. It's drastically changed. You can kind of tell from the satellite image is how much the locomotive area shrunk, and the throat of the yard, the configuration has changed quite a bit too. I couldn't model it exactly as it is, but I got it pretty close. Now we're gonna head over, well, eventually we're gonna head over to the BRC and then the Indiana Harbor Belt, which this connection here that used to go over to the Indiana Harbor Belt no longer does. It terminates at this former crossing here. And like I said, I really hate that it doesn't load properly. Yeah, I went to think there's a crossover right here. That went as far south as that. Midway Airport is was in the upper right corner there, and this is where I ended my work on the Belt Railway of Chicago a couple of years ago, actually, before I took my hiatus. I'm back down. I can never remember what this connection is to the west side of Clearing Yard. But yeah, I've laid all the tracks for this. The UTM tiles that I'm using are all 2D, so I have to adjust the elevation so that they're always below the track, and that's why it appears that the track is floating and casting shadows on tiles, because they're a couple feet at least above it. The connection to the belt, or to the Clearing Yard, goes to the left here, and straight ahead is the Indiana Harbor Belt. Let's see here. Yeah. The geometry on the right hand side of the main line here is done, but only a couple of the tracks are actually replaced. The left hand side is all industrial, and I'm not going to even touch it until I come back and work on that major industry there. But this is where I have started the Indiana Harbor Belt. Again, you can, that little orange spot is a locomotive for the Indiana Harbor Belt. And now I'm going to show you what I plan to work on over the next 2 to 3 weeks. This little jot out here is how I like to set a track to straight to straight, move, curve over, and then just put switches or grades or whatever, and I use that to make sure that it stays straight. There's where the belt or the BRC connection comes down, and we're about to enter the clearing yard here. I really can't wait to get in here and mess around with all this stuff. You're looking at, let's see, if I remember correctly, the center yard here is the arrival tracks for the east bowl, and what we just passed on the left was the departure tracks for the west bowl, which is right here on the left. And on the right, we just passed the CSX intermodal yard. And here's the east bowl. To the left is the locomotive area. And the east arrival and departure yards are over here. The belt railroad comes down from the left over here and continues up to the center of the frame. The clearing yard alone will probably take two weeks to get through. And I think this is I'm pretty sure this is a CSX line that comes out of Corwith up there and heads south here. But I'll continue. I'll bring that down to here, and then continue the BRC over around this mini yard here. And then the real fun begins. For the Belt Railway, the Norfolk Southern Metro, I think this is the 74th Street crossing, where the CSX crosses mid-frame here. I've already started work on the CSX down, and I know that it kind of jots over here, the new crossing, into the old yard here, so that they can create a new grade separation there. And then here's where the BRC crosses the Norfolk Southern Metro connection. And the Belt Railway continues south. But I'm actually going to head north along the NS. There's a little connection for the yard up ahead to connect both sides of the yard. And we're going to zoom out here to, this will be the next Norfolk Southern yard that I'm going to work on. Or pretty sure it's a Norfolk Southern yard anyways. And then after I get that done, or get this, the right hand side here done, I'm going to do the left hand side and come down this way. Around the corner here to this point here where the Rock Island line crosses over that line, and then go back up the Rock Island past the Metro yard facility here to where I stopped working on the Rock Island line.